This is a Swede Speaks.
It's time to talk about last week in Islamic terror. First of all, I want to thank the good people at the religionofpeace.com website for their hard work with keeping track of Islamic terror attacks and other Islam-related news. I recommend anyone to check out their website, and I will link to it in the box below this video. So now, without further ado, let's get started. On Monday, May 14th, 2018, there were 47 dead and 11 injured, and among those were, in Dibs, Iraq, 3 dead by a roadside bomb. In Farah City, Afghanistan, at least 30 dead by a large-scale attack by the Taliban, involving waves of suicide bombers. In Mopamuro, Nigeria, 10 villagers murdered by Miyetti Allah. On Tuesday, May 15th, there were 14 dead and 6 injured, and those were, in Konduga, Nigeria, 4 dead and 5 injured by a Fedayeen suicide bomber. In Shirin Tagab, Afghanistan, 9 members of a defense militia murdered by the Taliban during an attack on a local village. In Bihar, India, 1 dead and 1 injured when terrorists fired on a police vehicle. On Wednesday, May 16th, there were 20 dead and 61 injured, and among those were, in Hasti, Afghanistan, 3 police officers murdered and 3 injured by a fundamentalist group. In Taji, Iraq, 8 dead and 31 injured by a Fedayeen suicide bomber at a funeral. In Konduga, Nigeria, 4 dead and 5 injured by a Fedayeen suicide bomber. On Thursday, May 17th, there were 10 dead and 27 injured, and among those were, in Kasheri Chauk, Pakistan, 1 dead and 11 injured by a Shahid suicide bomber. In Dikwa, Nigeria, 4 displaced persons killed and 15 injured by a suicide bomber at a rival mosque. In Farah City, Afghanistan, 3 engineers killed by a Taliban rocket. On Friday, May 18th, there were 30 dead and 73 injured, and among those were, in Jalalabad, Afghanistan, 8 dead and 55 injured by jihadi planted bombs at a cricket stadium. In Iristan, Afghanistan, 9 dead and 7 injured shot by the Taliban. In Maruf, Afghanistan, 5 dead and 6 injured when fundamentalists fired at them with machine guns. On Saturday, May 19th, there were 20 dead and 8 injured, and among those were, in Ghazni, Afghanistan, 13 security personnel murdered and 8 injured by a Sunni attack. In Jacobabad, Pakistan, 2 lovers murdered with a machine gun in the name of honor. In Grozny, Chechnya, 3 dead, including 2 guards and a worshipper, when 4 devout Muslims stormed the church. On Sunday, May 20th, there were no reported deaths or injuries. As far as I can remember, this is the first death and injury-free day since I started making these reports about a year ago. So last week there were 141 dead and 186 injured. Last month, April 2018, there were 901 dead and 940 injured. This year, so far, 2018, there has been 4,365 dead and 5,125 injured. Last year, 2017, there were 15,788 dead and 14,361 injured. So, as we can see, last week there were 141 unnecessary deaths and 186 unnecessary injuries. That's what Islam did to the world last week, because make no mistake about this, these attacks happened in different parts of the world to people of different ethnicities and religions. The victims are diverse, but the attacks have one thing in common, and that thing is Islam. Thus, I have to conclude that Islam creates problems in the East, Islam creates problems in the West, Islam creates problems in the South, and Islam creates problems in the North. Islam is the root cause. That's what needs to be understood and addressed, and that's why I make these reports, and that's what I will keep on making them. Islam creates problems in Islamic countries, for instance Pakistan and Iraq, and Islam creates problems in non-Islamic countries, for instance India. And that's what I have to say about this right now. I will return next week with another episode of Last Week in Islamic Terror, since there has already been some of that terror this week too, sadly. I would like to thank all the people supporting my work, and if you like what I do, if you think what I'm doing is important, please consider sending me $1 or $2 or 10 or 100. That's always greatly appreciated. Also, keep me in your prayer, like and share my videos, send them to friends and relatives, and subscribe, please. So, until next time, have a nice day, and God bless.